SBTV.
Wednesday, Wild Card.
This is Rasheed Chappell.
What's up? This is Kenny Dope.
And you're now watching
SBTV.
Peace.
I was building with my barber about the teachings of the father, how the woman is the earth and the black man is Allah. Preachers in the churches where they hooping and they holler, and the secrets of the masons on the back of the...
Wow, well, the journey starts in Brooklyn, pretty much. I was really fortunate to come up in an area where I was surrounded by a lot of different styles of music, a lot of different nationalities, and I guess that's what brings me into a lot of different styles of music as a DJ. Being in the area I was in, I sold disco, I sold alternative, I sold rock, I sold Latin, I sold soul music, hip hop, reggae, a little bit of everything. So coming from that actually led me into that as a DJ. And the years that I came up, DJs played different styles. It has helped me, throughout the years, produce house music, produce R&B, produce hip hop, produce reggae. You know what I mean? Because I've worked with, from a Super Cat on the reggae side to a Luther Vandross on the R&B side to a BB Winans on the gospel side. It's a beautiful thing for me as a person who loves music, and I'm able to play it, and produce it.
It's so funny, when we first met, I didn't even know who he was. And I'm so happy I didn't, because I may have acted completely different. But we went out to eat and we talking and we just talking music and stuff like that. And so the guy that had introduced us was like, yo, that's Kenny Dope. So I'm like, let me Google this guy. Like, who is Kenny Dope? And the pages just kept going and going and going. And I'm like, oh my God, like, this is Kenny Dope. And I remember this one particular track he gave me. I just couldn't write anything. And I'm stressing out, and my lady is like, she's like what's the problem? I'm like, yo, like, this is a Kenny Dope beat. I got it. She's like, wait a minute, stop. How long have you been rapping? I'm like, I don't know. I've been rapping like 15 years. And she's like, and now you don't know what to write? So you gonna wait till you write what you gotta write, and then, wash those dishes and go to bed. And it was like that. And that was the cap that popped off. And 4 years later, 5 years later,
Man eaters in the form of cells, man fall from a single cell, and I apply science, highest rank on the totem pole. Lead life the same as my scrotum hole. Pure light, the key to my genetic code.
And this one kid actually brought me some demos, and Rasheed was on some of those demos, and I heard kind of through the demos of someone that I wanted to work with pretty much my whole career. And the songs were cool, but they were demos to me. You know what I'm saying? And I got a whole vision instantly when I heard it. And then, at first, Rasheed really didn't understand what I was trying to tell him. But little by little, as the trust factor developed in any relationship, you could take things a step further. Now he sees that, with that.
I love it. Like, I don't even know where to begin. Like, I put out like a couple projects with other producers, not as well known, just local stuff. And that's why it was so weird that he actually got it in his hands. And I was working with the other producer. I remember him telling me that he was working with Kenny. And again, I didn't know who Kenny was, so I wasn't that excited. I had been around a Marley Marl. I had been around a K-Def. I had been around other people who produce. So I was like, okay, I don't know who Kenny Dope is. And when he told me, he was like, yo, I'm just going to play him the stuff. And I still was like, whatever. It was just about making the music and kind of creating that buzz on the street. I had done a bunch of New Yorican Poets Cafe, which is huge in New York, a bunch of underground spots. But, I always wanted it to be a career. But I was just kind of like, okay, it's something that I'm doing that I love to do. And I wasn't really focusing on it like that. It's something that I wanted to do, but I wanted to do it my way, pretty much. And I had meetings at a bunch of different labels, major labels, and all of them was like, you're dope, but if you can kind of just change this, or we can make you do this, and I didn't want to go that route. So when I met this guy, the first thing he says to me, if I'm lying, I'm flying. The first thing he said to me is like, I don't want to make any records for the radio, none. And I'm like, what? You don't want to make any radio records? Like, that's all I've been being told, is that they want to make radio records. So he was like, look, I just want to make a classic album. Beats, rhymes, producer, MC, that's it. And then we did it.
Lines are blinding, rhymes refining. Too complex, it defies refinement. Move too fast, nigga, just rewind it. Creme de la creme, yes, I'm the finest. Stars aligning, perfect timing. The real hip hop, you are now reminded.
Well, listening to the lyricism on those demos that I heard initially, that's what I heard. That kind of record. You know what I mean? At the same time, it was somewhat missing out there. It's a record that we wanted to make and put together. I would like Rasheed said, I wasn't really concerned with what was going on the radio. There's space for people to hear lyrics and beats. Again, and that's what we did, and that's what we set out to do, and that's what we would continue to do. Mm-hmm. Now, in that recording process of that record, there was those radio songs, but we didn't make them intentionally. They just happened on their own. The track made a specific, vibe, and we pulled this singer in or whatever, and it just happened organically. You know what I mean? But you didn't hear those records because we didn't. To me, it was like a second or third album song. When people know him a little bit more, opposed to trying to just put that out there to try to get him on the radio and start here. I want to show the natural progression of what we're doing and him as an artist as well.
I know the process behind the songs. So, people think that they just, kind of happened, but it was thought out. It wasn't, just go in there and rap. A lot of the songs were ideas that were talked about 6 months before a beat was given to me, or ideas that were talked about a year before the verse was written. So it was a real process behind making the album. It wasn't like, okay, here's 16 beats and put 16 rhymes on it and we'll make an album. It was, let's do 35 records, let's do 40 records, literally. And then we'll narrow it down to what fits the concept of the album. And I think that's why, people were drawn to it and it got the kind of fanfare that it did, because if you heard it, the cohesion, if you heard the influence, if you heard the chemistry, the people were able to hear it too. So it's just a blessing.
I target fame like the Kennedy shot. I'm in the grassy knoll. I'm authentic, niggas faker than the Lancey Gold. May God bless the late James Yancey soul. As I stroll through indelible minds, I leave my fingerprints. Dickhead niggas, I leave them impotent, ignorant, benevolent. Rasheed the benevolent.
I didn't want to make a record with him recording the lyrics somewhere else, or me doing we did it together.
Yeah, every song.
What I mean?
Every song.
And like you said, it was thought out. The concepts are thought out. The title was thought out.
The song titles.
The reasoning behind all that stuff. And I think today a lot of albums ain't created like that anymore, because everybody's on the move. Everybody's moving. They're recording vocals in a hotel room. This person is sending the beats through the internet, which is great. You know what I mean? You have that flexibility, but I think the whole recording process of all the classic albums that we came up on, they were done together. We were vibing together. We were in the studio together. We're working. We're building. Even if certain acts went away somewhere for a month, 2 months to record and be secluded from everything and just create, that's missing today. A lot of people don't do that anymore. So I guess, that's what you heard as well, because we were together all the time creating that.
Yeah.
I think Symphony's in there too.
Kenny Debo.
You got Symphony?
History. I'm so happy. My biggest influence is like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ralph McDaniels over here. He's legendary. To me, and I've said this to him, I think he's the most important person in New York hip hop history, because this guy had a Access TV radio TV show that would come on after school, and we would get out of school at 3:00, and we would run home to watch this show at 3:30. Now, this man's show has probably saved millions of lives, because people did not want to be out on the street between 3:30 and 4:30 because we wanted to watch Video Music Box.
Hi, I'm DJ Ralph McDaniels, and welcome to New York's #1 video show, Video Music Box, the box that rocks. Whoa.
And he gave a face to every artist we had heard on the radio. Rakim, Big Daddy Kane,
Black Moon,
Smith and Wesson, Nas. He broke Nas.
Delete stress like Motrin, then extend strong. I drink my wet with Medusa, give her shotguns in hell from the split that I lived in hell. It ain't hard to tell.
You wanted to go to school the next day and say who you saw on Video Music Box. Now, I remember being young, and my older cousin had a friend, Majan, and they get out of here, you can't watch it. And so they were telling me who their favorite rappers were. I never forget, I had to be about maybe 8 years old, and Special Ed comes on. I said, that's my favorite rapper. Like, I wanted to claim him first before anybody else claimed. I was like, that's my favorite rapper. And they're looking at me like, what? You don't know nothing about Special Ed? But I didn't. It was my first time ever seeing an I Got It Made video. But I saw it on Video Music Box.
The highest title, numero uno. I'm not a Puerto Rican, but I'm speaking so that you know. And understand I got the gift of speech, and it's a blessing. So listen to the lesson I preach. I talk sense condensed into the form of a poem. Full of knowledge from my toes to the top of my dome. I'm kind of young.
He played my video, and it was better than being on MTV. I kid you not, because this is what I grew up watching. And we didn't give him the video, right? We didn't give him the video. He's known him for, he didn't give him the video. It took his natural course.
He took it off YouTube and did
caught his ear. Then the second one, he was like, okay, can you send me a video now? First one he took off YouTube because he liked it. And when he told me, I almost cried. I was like seriously, like it meant that much to me. And so everything that's been on that show, to answer your question, has influenced me. Everything that's been on that show.
Video Music Box, Uncle Ralph, I'm here. Harlem, we good. Just give me the mic. Make some noise, Harlem. Y'all still with me? Yeah.
This is Rasheed Chappell.
What's up? This is Kenny Doe.
Signing off.
SBTV.
Peace.
Cause the truth is that first I'm a man, second I'm a father, third I'm a husband, and fourth I'm an artist. And I bear the burden of so many lives, and I feel the scrutiny of so many eyes. So many times I sat in isolation, praying to the Lord.